You're tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I just had to enjoy, a little bit. What's up, AfterBuzzers? We're back. It's Joe Doyle.
And Marilou Mandl.
And we're chatting. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Season 10, Episode 3, Psycho Pete Returns.
Awesome.
Oh, my God.
I loved this episode so much. I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was going to be a two-parter because there was so much just crazy stuff going on. I thought it was going to be a two-parter. I would have loved a two-parter.
Yeah, I got to the last 5 minutes. You're like, there's no way this is going to be finished yet.
Yeah, and then I realized, oh, wait, this is Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They never wrap up any loose ends whatsoever.
Just let it flap it in the wind. Flap it in the wind.
Flap it in the wind. Oh, man. It was wild. So to start us off, the gang's all in the bar, and then all of a sudden, Mac and Charlie come in. They're super stoked, rocking out to that Psycho Killer song, which is a pretty rocking song, in honor of their old buddy from the freight train, which I guess was their crew's name, is returning.
Yes. That's it. Episode's called
Psycho Pete Returns.
Psycho Pete Returns.
But the reason that he's called Psycho Pete, we find out, is because he murdered and ate his family.
Yes, and burned down the house.
Just
nuts. Just crazy guy.
Yeah, and Mac and
Charlie are about it.
Yeah, they're totally about it. And Dennis and Sweet D and Frank are terrified. Yeah. They don't want anything to do with it. And they're freaking out, and they start arguing with Mac and Charlie about how they don't want anything to do with Psycho Pete. Nothing at all. They're calling him, saying all these horrible things, and then all of a sudden,
hey, you guys.
Yeah, Psycho Pete's just hanging out behind
them.
Super creepy. Super creepy when you think that he's killing all of his parents and ate them all.
And I thought that was really fun because Dee and Dennis and Frank were reacting the way you may normally act when you're hearing that a psychomaniac killer is on the loose.
Yeah, they're terrified.
They're scared. They're actually scared, which they don't normally act in a way you would expect people to act.
Yeah, normally they could handle it. And I'm confused because Mac is the head of security. I would imagine that he would have been a little nervous about a psycho killer coming back. No mention of ocular pat-downs whatsoever, I don't think, in this episode at all. But they find that he shows up. He's super even keel, like almost kind of like a total buzzkill when Psycho Pete shows up. Much to Mac and Charlie's dismay. They thought they were going to have some crazy times again.
Yeah.
And he's just like, hey.
Can I get a glass of water, guys?
Yeah, doesn't even drink beer anymore. Yeah. Like, the medication's all, like, totally, like, calmed him down. And before anything that can go down, they all leave.
Yes. Again, these guys own a bar.
Yeah.
And they're just... Everyone leaves.
And there's still people drinking.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, Mac and Dennis, they're over it. They don't want anything to do with him, so they just bail because he's not fun anymore. And then the rest of the gang just is terrified, so they just kind of dip as well.
Yeah.
And then you see, like, the rest of the bar patrons, they all, like, end up going and leaving as well. Yeah. Just kind of sneaking out the back, and he's just like, okay, whatever.
So if you were at Paddy's pub and there was no staff, I mean, I assume those people are regulars just know to just go grab drinks.
Oh,
at
yeah.
this point.
I would totally get hammered and just kind of, I mean, they probably have like a little spot in the corner where they just curl up and go to sleep while the gang is on their latest adventure. But, and we find out that when Charlie and Mac leave, that what they're trying to do, I thought they just bailed, they have a new plan.
Yes.
And their new plan is to go find one of my favorite characters in all of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia world, Rickety Cricket.
Rickety Cricket!
Cricket is back.
Oh my gosh. And then because their mission, as Mac is saying, he's like, no, I don't go to a psychiatrist who's going to help me work through my problems. I'm going to go to a priest who's going to absolve me and then I can move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, now they go to Cricket because he was a priest.
And they find him like he's homeless, so he's like in abandoned, just kind of like it almost looks like it looks terrifying, and he looks like the Hound from Game of Thrones.
Yes,
he totally.
Yes.
Yeah, his whole side of his face is burned, and I loved it because it totally brought back. It was a callback to previous episode, the Thanksgiving episode where the gang squashes their beefs, and they lock everybody up in the apartment, and then they burn the apartment down. Mm-hmm. And then he just goes, "This is what you did to me," but the gang doesn't remember.
No, they're like we would never invite you to our house for Thanksgiving. Yeah. Like you weren't there. That's a lie.
There's no way that would happen.
Oh my gosh, the storyline that they have with Cricket, like I'm sad for him, but I like love seeing them destroy him further and further.
You don't think he could sink any lower.
Every time
he does.
They find new lows for Rickety Cricket.
Well, and speaking of the new low, we found that he's slashed his prices. Cricket has turned into a prostitute.
Yes.
And if you want a little, what is it, an old fashioned or a blowy, then you get a whole sixer.
A whole sixer, not just one beer. He wants 6 beers, and then we learn later in the episode if you want to do him in the butt.
A little crack.
A little crack.
Just a little crack.
Just a little crack.
That's fair. I mean, I feel like that's fair prices.
Yeah.
Cricket's not necessarily the high class whore.
I know, he's like now the Hound, right?
The Hound, the Cricket Hound.
Oh, so he's got to have like competitive pricing.
Right. He's got to do what he can, get what he can get. And so they decide, okay, well, let's bring him back. And in the meantime, when these guys are trying to find Cricket and everyone, the other 3 of the gang, Dennis, and Frank, all go to the Reed Sanatorium, mental institution, where Psycho Pete was locked up.
Yes, and when they're walking up, it's obviously shut down. It's boarded up. There's like graffiti everywhere. They have to break into the door, and they're like, why is it shut down? I don't want to pay taxes.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
What they were willing to pay taxes for, football fan.
Well, they got to pay for the Eagles.
Yeah, they were paying for the Eagles training facility.
Yep, training facility, open practice. We found out at the end of the episode they go to hang out.
Speaking of football, are you excited?
Oh my gosh, I can't wait! I told Maria Menounos on Twitter that I'd be wearing Richard Sherman jersey on the show today. She's a big Pats fan.
Yeah.
So
you come to Maria Menounos' place.
That's right.
And still wear the competitor
I ain't
jersey.
shook.
Oh, all right.
I'm about that action, boss.
Oh my gosh.
Beast mode.
Get it. I feel like I need to represent too. I don't have any.
No, that's all right.
Stuff.
You got blue on, and blue is for the Seahawks.
All right. So and I need some neon green. Yeah.
I got socks on. We could switch.
Great. Okay, great. We'll switch later. We'll switch later.
Yeah, we'll switch a little bit
later.
So their plan, when they realized that it was shut down and they just let all the crazies go wild, is to try and get him recommitted, try and find a new spot for Pete to get committed.
Yeah.
But in order to do that, they have to go to a doctor. Mm-hmm. And
but before we leave,
my gosh, I tried to block that part out of my mind.
It was so scary. Frank is walking around and then he starts to have flashbacks.
It's like Psycho,
out of nowhere,
like American Horror Story flashbacks,
right? Which were really well done. I thought they were great.
Oh yeah,
but actually scary.
Like I've never been on acid before, but it felt like I was tripping on acid. It did. He was just freaking out and jittering everywhere. Frank was so messed up when he was a little kid.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we see young Frank in these rooms that he's walking into, and he's talking to his roommate, Froggy. And he's like, "I'll keep you moist, Froggy."
Just pour, over this weird frog. It looks like totally like Kermit the Frog, but effed up.
Yes.
Effed up Kermit the Frog.
And Frank is messed up. We've always known Frank is messed up, but do we know he was that messed up?
I had no idea. I still don't understand how he made all of his fortune if he was that messed up. You know what? Props to Frank.
Frank, please write a book on how to make a Frank fortune.
Yeah, that would be. I think there might be a chapter in there. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that.
We'll
one
have to
yet.
research on that.
Yeah, we will. We got a little special excerpt from the book coming from you a little bit later on. Yeah. Then Frank bails after that. He has this psycho break and then leaves.
Right, because he's looking for Froggy now. He's like, they were together. They helped each other out. I have to go find my guy.
There's his best bud. Yeah.
That's his buddy.
And so D and Dennis somehow find Frank again after he just goes off and go to the doctor to try to get Pete recommitted or get him some meds or something, and I thought they were going to get committed themselves.
Yeah.
They were acting ridiculous. Ridiculous. Dennis wants to skin D.
Yeah.
And make D into luggage.
Skin luggage.
Yeah.
And then he just snaps because I always like when D has to go into her acting stuff because she thinks she's a fabulous actress, but she is not.
She's not. And I do declare, she tried to do a little streetcar named Desire on the doctor.
And then switched to like a British accent.
Yeah.
It was really fantastic.
Yeah, it was. And I thought they were going to get committed. I thought there was going to be a whole nother situation. This is the whole two-parter thing. I thought it was going to go down.
Yeah.
Turns out it doesn't. And they end up getting some medication.
Yes.
For it's actually for Dennis.
Yeah.
But they're going to try and
because Dennis was like, please don't act. Please don't act because it's going to make me want to rip my eyes out and I'm going to skin you. You would be more useful if I would skin you and make you into skin luggage.
And the doctor said,
oh, really?
Yeah, I'm totally freaking out. I don't know what I would have done if those guys came into my office unannounced either.
Yeah, but I think that's still true to Dennis' character. I think he's always been crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. He is. He's a
little psychopath.
Oh, yeah, and completely narcissistic, which is like one of the things for serial killers, I think. I don't know.
Do you think that they'll eventually come out and be like, Dennis has killed all these people?
He might. It might happen.
He'll be like Dexter, but Dennis.
And then just all with girls that he tries to bang and not with any people that deserve it.
Just good people.
Y'all good people. But they always end up ruining good people, just like Cricket.
Yes.
Which they ended up bringing back to the bar to try to get Pete to get his sins absolved.
Right, because they're like, okay, the psychiatrist didn't help him. Let's get a priest to come and help him.
And they use the bathroom stalls as their confessional. And there's a glory hole. I don't know if I missed it in other episodes or we didn't know, but there's definitely a glory hole in the men's restroom at Paddy's pub.
Right, because poor Pete goes into the bathroom and he sits down and then he's like, here's a voice. And then the little window slides open that they built in to make it a confessional booth. He's like, it's time for you to confess your sins. He's like, is this a glory hole? Is this what? And he's like, it is. But if you are interested in that, then it's going to cost you a $6 and I'm not opposed.
Yeah. Pete's like, what's going on?
Pete's like, no.
He's still so even keel. Like, I don't understand why, but everyone else is afraid of him.
Yeah.
And then Mac and Charlie are sitting in the back going, hey, and like telling them all.
We'll just confess for him.
Yeah. And
because they need to hurry things along.
Yeah. They got things to do. They got to go drink some beers and I guess they kind of have a bar to run. And then Pete freaks out again. Well, he doesn't freak out. He's just like, I don't really dig this, and he leaves to go to use the ladies' restroom. And then that's that part of the episode. And then they realize he's possessed.
Yes. Then they decide they're going to do an exorcism.
But the only way they can get him to do the exorcism is if they get him off his meds, which is a horrible idea. Like, I mean, okay, I admit, me and a couple of friends have a person that we know that
was possessed.
Well, no, that kind of went psycho, and and sometimes I'm like, oh man, let's try to make them go psycho again. That'd be fun, just to kind of see the craziness and be entertained. Long story. Right.
Too long for this show.
But we might bring it up later, and if you do want to keep up to date on finding out that crazy stuff, you can subscribe to us on iTunes. Segue. Definitely check us out on iTunes and check us out on YouTube as well.
Yes. Comment, tell us what you think, rate us 5 stars on iTunes. It's really, really helpful, and we'll love you for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even take a 4-star rating.
Yeah. 4-star rating?
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
like cricket rules?
Yeah, cricket rules. Exactly. I'll take a 4-star, but you better listen to. I'll be okay with that. I wouldn't be opposed.
Yeah. All right.
No blowies. No, no blowies. None of that. I will not.
I don't even have to enter him? What?
Yeah. No. Yeah. And no entering me for a 5-star rating. I'm sorry, everybody out there.
We found Joe's line.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Hard limit. Nope.
No way. No. That's only exit. Exit only.
Exit only. Yeah. So then they decide to exercise. They're going to do an exorcism, and I always like with Mac and his like obsession with religion.
Oh, he's so religious.
Like, so Catholic.
Yeah.
And he was like, we have to get the demon out of him. They're like, yeah, the ghouls and what is it? The goblins, the ghouls, and the demons. He's like, no, there's no goblins. We're not dealing with goblins. We're not dealing with ghouls. Just demons. And like Cricket's like, they're all fake. And he's like, ah.
He starts freaking out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So funny.
It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut back to Frank, who left the previous doctor's office because he remembered his old doctor's name from the sanatorium, Dr. Zimmerman.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks that Dr. Zimmerman thinks that Dr. Zimmerman will find
Did you have a
where
little
Froggy is.
psychotic break right there?
I might have.
Okay.
I might have.
Tonight's the night.
So he finds Dr. Zimmerman, who looks psycho as well,
Mm-hmm.
and tries to find out about Froggy. And then we find out
Froggy is Frank.
bum bum bum.
And he's like, oh yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that
He just is like, oh yeah, totally.
Totally. And then Dr. Zimmerman tries to
catch him in a net.
with a butterfly net, and Frank escapes.
Go to catch the little froggy.
He's like, no, don't do it. Oh my goodness. And then we go back and we find them trying to exorcise.
Yeah.
Psycho
This
Pete.
is where everybody comes back into the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really hoping that the exorcism was going to be more elaborate.
Right.
Not they were like sitting at the table talking about doing the exorcism, but I wanted to see the exorcism.
Oh man, that would have been so. I really want to see it go down. That would have been the best.
Yeah.
Now I want them to go ghost hunting too. I'd love to. Like
Please.
the gang goes ghost hunting.
Please go ghost hunting.
That would be awesome. We got to tweet them and try to get them to get it in their heads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ooh. Speaking of tweets, Psycho Pete retweeted a tweet of mine.
Ooh, you fancy.
And then one of the writers fave starred one of my tweets.
Yes.
So yeah, we're making some waves out there in the Twitter universe.
Yes, we are. Totally.
But and at the end of the episode, we actually find out what goes down with Psycho Pete and what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, but you killed your family.
It's like, no, actually, you guys just made that up. People just made that up. You spread all these rumors about me being crazy. Then people got scared of me. And now I'm just depressed and thought about killing myself. So I thought you guys would be my friends because you guys liked me. And they're like, oh.
Yeah. He had like social anxiety and depression. And they're like, oh, well, no, we're not going to do that. So they decide what they can do to fix that problem. And like they always do, they just get rid of it, send it away. No big deal.
No big deal. So they're like at the train station.
Playing the Come On Ride the Train.
Come on, ride the train. And, I feel like Pete did really appreciate it, though. He was like, you guys are really trying to help me. That's fantastic. Thank you.
It's a new start, and they send him here.
To Los Angeles.
Yeah,
where nobody's depressed.
Nobody at all. I'm so depressed. I hate my life. Or did I say that?
No, you're fine.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Fine.
As long as the Seahawks win on Sunday, then I'll be okay. But I might.
Oh my gosh.
I might go Psycho Pete on everybody.
Joe's sanity is relying on you, Seahawks. Please. Yeah. So, what was neat though is that they sent one person away, and then it cuts to another part on another portion of the train station, and it's a couple that's dropping off some other bum.
And he looks super bummy.
Yeah.
Like total bum. And then they just go, good luck in Philadelphia. And one of the guys that sends him away is actually a buddy of mine, Jeff Howard. And so I thought that was pretty cool. So we're going to, I'm going to try and pick his brains and find out what it was like doing a little bit on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous.
Oh man, it's cool. Speaking of talking about other people, you want to talk about gossip?
Sure.
Gossip. All right.
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
All right, so this gossip actually comes from Danica, who's feeling under the weather. She couldn't make it, didn't want to get us sick. Thank you, Danica.
Thank you, Danica.
Hey. So she sent me this picture because a lot of the gang has been showing up on this season of the Mindy Project, and Rob is, AKA Mac, is on an episode, I guess, and he was filming it today, and there was a picture on Mindy Kaling's Twitter. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. I should have had it all set up, but I didn't.
How dare you?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
So Rob, check it out, brought like Kayuchan chicken, like a whole cast and crew, fed the whole cast and crew today, stage 27 at 1 p.m. on the Universal Studios backlot where they were filming the Mindy Project, soundstage 27.
So we can go stalk them now.
We can. I actually should try to, see what's happening.
Yeah.
Go over there. I'm
You
working
got
at Universal
access, right?
tomorrow. Yeah. Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
Going on the
Cool.
back lot tomorrow, Universal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought that was pretty cool that Rob's paying it forward, and they had him back, and so he wanted to thank Mindy for having him back and fed the crew and the cast.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool.
I wish somebody sent us food. Oh, Psycho.
Psycho
Joe. Psycho Lou.
Do you want to tell about the installment from the book?
Yes.
That we're going to talk about today?
So we've got the 7 secrets of awakening the highly effective 4-hour giant today. The Gang Writes a Self-Help book. So the excerpt we're reading today, in honor of them getting rid of a bum.
Bums are bad. If you have any bums around your place, you might want to listen to this. I have a bum in my house.
Yeah.
I mean, he just gets cans. He doesn't really do too much bummy stuff. But
all right. Well, if you have a bum, I've got help for you.
All right, let's check it out.
All right, Charlie's 5-step plan to beat the bums. 1, cut off their food supply. Have you tried that yet?
I should.
Yeah.
I should not.
You should
throw
not
away
waste
any food.
anything.
No. Eat everything, especially cheese. Charlie would appreciate me not wasting cheese.
Yeah, don't waste the cheese.
I never waste cheese.
Yeah. So if you have extra leftover food, you should throw it in your neighbor's house.
Just throw it in the neighbor's house. Now, here, take it.
Yeah.
I'll flush it
Great,
too.
okay.
I might flush it down the toilet.
Flush it down the toilet.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Number 2, give away all your spare change so the bums can't have it. Okay.
I like it.
All right. So if you're giving it away, but not to bums.
No.
So we're going to give it to, well, I don't think Charlie means tip anybody. Like, I don't
No,
think
he would
that's
never
what
tip anybody. He probably just means like
Like to
unless
cats?
give it to cats.
Give it to cats.
A cat shelter.
Yes.
Donate all your change to a local cat shelter.
Oh, he has a cause.
There you go. Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
There you go,
Oh.
philanthropist.
Number 3, no more making championship hats and t-shirts until after the champion is decided.
That's right. That way they can't, because a lot of times, they make championship gear. It's like, so for the Super Bowl last year, they made both teams so they could have them ready to put them on if the team wins. And then they send the losers, championship stuff. They send it to Africa a lot of times because they don't want that showing around, here in the States. So they send it out.
Send it to another country.
Yeah, they send it to another country. But so that way, no, I don't want to see any bums wearing any Patriot gear this year. No bums wearing Patriots Super Bowl championships because the Seahawks are going to be the true champions. I just had to throw that in there again.
Joe will not stand for it.
I will not be denied. I demand
So
satisfaction.
I feel like on Monday, if it doesn't go your way, you're just going to have that psychotic break and be like, no,
I'm going to show
go
up
to
like cricket.
Africa.
I'm going to have like a whole burn face.
All right, number 4, give Frank the legal authority and necessary supplies to deal with the problem. Now, Frank did walk in at the end of this episode with a gun.
Tried to kill Pete.
Yeah, I think Frank could handle it.
I think he could too. There's a lot of bum deaths around.
And then finally, number 5, stop showering, wear the same dirty clothes all the time, and start hanging out in alleys. So essentially, become a bum yourself.
Bummed cover. Oh,
What?
I just thought of that.
Bummed cover.
Bummed cover. I wanted to one time. I wanted to see if it would work if I dressed up like, back in college, kind of like a bum, and then had a sign that said "Need money for school books," to see if I could get any money for school books. But I never had the guts to do it. I didn't want to get like bum shanked or anything.
Yeah, no, like the real bums probably will not be okay with you.
Not at all. But I mean, I did give Bum a gift the other day.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I guess it was in the summertime. It was really hot out, and I had extra water in my car. We pulled up to a stoplight, and he's like, "You have anything?" I'm like, "I got some water if you want it." So I gave Bum some water.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
I broke the cardinal rule, so I gotta.
And that's why the guy's hanging outside of your house. Good job.
Jeez, I should have known. It's true. Okay.
That's horrible.
Speaking of knowing things, I'm on point with these segues today.
You're great. It's
Thank you.
flawless.
We should talk about predictions.
Awesome.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
I love the lights for predictions.
Yeah.
That's the best. Shout out to the booth. Thank you, my
Yes.
man. Yeah. So you wanna kick us off with a prediction?
My prediction. I really hope that the guy who came off of the train is somebody we encounter more.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
Yes.
He shows up at the bar.
Like, we're not quite sure where he came from. We just know that he got dropped off in Philadelphia.
And then they said from the South. Well, in the credits they didn't say it, but in the credits I noticed Southern man. That was my buddy Jeff. I was looking for him in the credits, so they said Southern man. So the guy came from the South, but we don't know from where.
Like, is this the new like Psycho Robert?
That would be awesome. I want to see him in there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
And I messed up last week. I thought someone was gonna get naked. No, I thought Frank was gonna do too many drugs in public. And he just didn't do enough drugs and had a psycho break in public. So I mean,
you went the wrong way.
A little wrong way on that. So I'm gonna be.
So what's your wrong prediction this week?
My wrong prediction this week. I'm gonna go conservative. I'm gonna say that someone from the gang makes fun of Dee and calls her a bird in the next episode. Yeah, and just keeps on calls her bird. Yeah. Yeah, I think that they're gonna make fun of her for being bird-like.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little cop out, but I need to. I'm 0 for 2. I need to get one under the belt.
Okay.
I need to get a victory for these. These predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yeah. Totally. So yeah, that's this episode. Don't forget, once again, check us out on iTunes and subscribe on YouTube, and we'd love to see you guys out there. And
yes, leave us some comments. Tell us what you thought of the episode. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, we want to hear from you guys. So let us know. Tweet us at JoJo Doyle
and at Marilou Mandl, which is MARIELOUMANDL.
Yeah. See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.